Good morning, everyone. I'm Maria Quiroz, Small Business Development Interim Manager. Thank you all for being here. On behalf of the San Diego County Regional Airport Authority, it is my pleasure to welcome you today to our first virtual Veteran Appreciation Panel. The Airport Authority is proud to partner with veteran-owned small businesses in the region to provide economic opportunities. These partnerships generate economic benefit for the entire community. Today's program will provide information about new opportunities and programs for veteran businesses. Hear from many industry experts, and most importantly, explore how we can work together to boost the San Diego region economy, particularly in this COVID-19 time. To share more information about the Veteran Fellowship Program and opportunities that exist here in San Diego for the veterans is Jim Decock, Interim Director for the Authority's Revenue Generation and Partnership Development Department and Small Business Development Team. Welcome, Jim, and thank you.
Thank you, Maria. It's my pleasure to be here today. As many of you know, the Airport Authority Small Business Development Department works hard to ensure that unrepresented business have every opportunity to do business with the airport. This includes not only veteran-owned businesses, but also local, small, historically underutilized, and emerging businesses. We know that navigating the competitive bidding process for large government bureaucracies can be very daunting. That's why we're developing programs that will help prepare businesses for applying for opportunities at the airport when they arise. The Airport Authority has policy 5.12, which allows a 2% preference for a qualified veteran-owned business, small business, and a service-disabled veteran-owned small business. There's no doubt that veteran-owned businesses have been instrumental in the success of the airport. Although there are many examples, I'll just take a moment here to talk about one such business, BSC Security Services, which is owned by Navy veteran Marlon Blue. After serving 20 years in the U.S. Navy, Marlon returned to San Diego to find an extremely tough job market. He decided to start his own security company to help veterans and women attain jobs. Then he came across San Diego International Airport Authority's bid opportunity for security for the Terminal 2 parking plaza construction site. Marlon credits the Airport Authority Small Business Development Group for helping him successfully complete the very detailed application and ultimately winning a 2-year contract for the service. With this experience under his belt, Marlon has been successful competing for some other large public agency contracts. We congratulate Marlon and all of our veteran contractors that have joined us today. The Airport Authority's board and staff are committed to the belief that everyone can benefit from being a part of the work we provide at the airport. That includes our Veteran Fellowship Program, which provides valuable work experience for those transitioning from active service. If a fellow has the right combination of leadership and technical skills, the transition may be to fill an immediate need in our workforce. Our strategy is to build relationships, encourage dialogue and participation, and provide educational opportunities. Because at the Airport Authority, we firmly believe that the veteran-owned businesses are part of the backbone of our economy. Today, I'm looking forward to a panel discussion we'll be having with construction companies, as well as public agencies on veteran issues. On behalf of the San Diego Regional County Airport Authority, we thank you not only for your service to our country, but for your willingness to be part of the service that San Diego International Airport provides to the region. So before we start our program, Small Business Development Program Manager Christine Pham is here to tell you more about the Airport Authority's Veterans Fellowship Program.
Thank you, Jim. Good morning, everyone. Our Veterans Fellowship Program is a one-year program that provides veterans an opportunity to gain practical work experience in our integrated aviation environment, in addition to valuable growth opportunities. Please note that this program is currently on hold due to COVID-19. Veterans who participate in our program will gain hands-on experience and understanding of the aviation industry and participate in workshops on resume writing, interviewing skills, networking, and building relationships and corporate business practices. To learn more about applying to our Veterans Fellowship Program and view detailed job descriptions, you can visit our website. It's at sam.org/careers. Here today are Freddie and Ruben, who have participated in the Veteran Fellowship Program and are here to share their experience. First up to share his experience on the program is Freddie Sharpe. Freddie, thank you for being here today. Can you please introduce yourself and take us through your journey and experience?
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Freddie Sharpe, and as Christine said, I participated in the Veteran Fellowship Program. I was fortunate enough, I went through when the Airport Authority first started this program, I was the first group that went through it. So I applied for it, and then I went in for an interview and everything. And once I started, I was assigned to the procurement department, which was pretty much what I did while I was in the military. I was a logistics specialist while I was in the Navy. Found out about it, once I retired. I took some time off, and then I was just looking online, and I saw it on Indeed, and I applied for it, and like I said, I was accepted. The highlights were just kind of really updating my resume and kind of improving on interview skills. As time progressed, the program seemed to change a little bit because I went through the program and I started in 2014. So I was just kind of like the beta testing for it, if you want to say that. So that was some of the things I learned on, was just my resume skills and interviewing skills, and also how to take some of our skills that we do in the military, because naturally in the military, we just don't focus on our one job. We have several jobs. So I did the program, and initially it was 6 months. And after the 6 months ended, they kept me there as a temp for a few more months. And then a position opened, and I applied for it, and I was hired, and been there, like I said, since 2014. I think one of the first difference that I saw when I first started this was in the military. Since I worked in aviation field, it was we were assigned a task, and we had to hurry up and do it because we were launching and recovering aircraft. So that was a big thing that I had to adjust to where if I was assigned something, I mean, granted, we want to knock it out as soon as possible for our end user, but that was a big adjustment for me when I first started. I would say to anybody, when the program does open up again and veterans want to apply, or if other organizations do this program as well, is don't limit yourself. Like I said, in the military, we do numerous jobs, not just our one job that we're assigned to. So just kind of look at a broad, everything you did, and don't just limit it to your main job that you did in the military. So like I said, it's been great. The great thing there was the welcoming when I first started there. As soon as I started and reported to my department, it was, like family. They took me in and took me around and introduced me to everybody at the authority, and just the training was it was kind of intense, but luckily I caught on quick. It was a great experience,
Thank you so much, Freddie. You have such an inspirational story. The fact that you were able to adjust and you learned so much through the program, you're a testament to one of the veteran fellows that have taken all the knowledge and all the skills that you learned, and you were able to land a job right in the procurement team. So happy 6 years to you with Authority, and so glad to have you a part of the team. And thank you for sharing that story. Up next, I'd like to introduce our current veteran fellow, Ruben Inocencio.
Hello, everybody. A little background about myself. I'm a 23-year Navy veteran in the aviation field. I retired last year, and I was fortunate enough and been having the privilege in participating in the Veteran Fellowship Program which has helped me in the seamless transition from the military to civilian employment. I've been blessed with working with great managers and directors who have gone above and beyond and helped me develop skills needed in the civilian sector. And being retired or coming off a 23-year-long career where it's very structured and it's military, and for a lot of retirees, that's all you know, being able to come to a program that they already know that, and they're able to help, once again, develop skills for the civilian sector, which is something that I'm still going to be needing. And I've had great people that work with here at the Airport Authority, and I've just been blessed and so lucky to have that leadership here in helping me develop my skills for future employment, which it's very difficult, and a lot of people are scared from doing so long in the military, and they're really scared of what they're going to do next and how they're going to do it. So the Veteran Fellowship Program has been a great help in developing me for civilian employment, and I am just so grateful that I've been privileged in participating in this program.
Thank you so much, Ruben, for sharing your story. Can't imagine what it's like to come in during a difficult time and you're still on board and being able to experience all these skill sets for the civilian world. So thank you so much for sharing your story. Let's go ahead and see if we have any questions. Maria?
No questions at this time, Christine. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Maria. Let's move on to our next slide. We'd like to get some engagement from our audience today. We have a couple of polls. So this is poll number 1. Go ahead and launch that poll for us, Maria. The question is, after learning about the fellowship program, we want to know your response on the interest, just to get some feelers out there. Go ahead and click on one of the 3 options. We'll wait a couple more seconds to get more votes in.
I'm going to go ahead and end the poll.
All right, let's
And
go ahead and take a look at the results. So it looks like 50% are interested, 22 know someone that may be interested, and 31% are not applicable. So it looks like we do have quite a big group of attendees that are interested. So keep your eyes and ears out. As we had mentioned, this program is on hold, but you can go on sam.org/careers. You can create a profile, and then you can get notifications should there be a future posting. So definitely set yourself up for that so that you're in the know about that future opening once we do lift the program from hold status to open. Let's go on and move on to the next poll. Poll number 2, we would like to see your interest and your response on veteran organizations and networks. Go ahead and click on one of the 3 options. Maria, please go ahead and end polling and click and launch the next poll. Great. Okay, let's relaunch this. We're going to relaunch it because it just ended promptly. So go ahead and click right in. We relaunch that. So whether you currently are a member of an organization for veteran businesses or veterans, or you are not yet, or if it's not applicable to you. And we'll give a couple seconds for you to click. Okay, so the poll has ended. And we have 88% that are currently a member, No one has voted that they're not, but 13% says that it's not applicable or none of the above. All right, let's move on to our next part of the program. It's really vital for veteran businesses to receive their support and stay well connected. And one great way to do so is to join a veteran organization or network. I'd like to welcome to the spotlight Joe Rubio from the U.S. Veteran Business Alliance to talk about his organization. If I can have the slide move forward to Joe's slide. Thank you so much, Peter. Take away, Joe.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks so much to the San Diego Airport Authority for having this outstanding program as a recognition of veteran service. Truly appreciate that. It's an honor to have served, and I applaud all those veterans who are online right now sharing this event with us. So I'm proud to be the local San Diego chapter president for the U.S. Veteran Business Alliance. Here, it's a national nonprofit that advocates and provides resources to veteran businesses and those who are aspiring to become veteran business owners. Each chapter is a little bit different. Our chapter here in San Diego really focuses on being a center of gravity as a network for veterans, again, who are starting up their business or in the business industry already, and provide some mentoring and coaching amongst each other, and also obviously network and provided a way to do business together. Secondly, what we aspire to do here in San Diego is provide a bridge between our veteran entrepreneur network and agencies such as the San Diego Airport Authority, NAVFAC, other agencies that are looking for veteran businesses to provide services to them. And then thirdly, another layer and advantage of being part of our association locally is that we also have a great support from multiple non-veteran owned businesses that, again, are looking for partners or team members or folks to mentor in their growth as they move from being transitioning from the military, opening up their business, and then mentoring them to become larger business owners.
Great. So thanks so much, Joe, for sharing about your organization. And would you say that you would have to necessarily be a veteran business in order to join the organization? Or is this open to anyone and everyone? Can you specify?
Definitely not. Again, to be part of the USVBA San Diego chapter or USVBA National, you don't necessarily have to be a veteran business owner. You can go to our website and sign up. There are different tiers to sign up on. A free tier onto more benefits on a paid rate. So I would say no, we encourage non-veteran businesses to become members and find potential team members, and then also larger businesses to become members and find subcontractors that you can partner with.
Great, thank you so much, Joe. And just wanted to double check if our presentation can be projected. Peter, can you please share the presentation? We don't see anything right now. In the meantime, while we figure out about the presentation, thank you so much, Joe. If I can now introduce to the spotlight our next presenter, Rebecca Aguilera-Godina from VIBN. Rebecca, thank you so much for being here. And if you could introduce yourself and talk about your organization.
Sure, no problem. Thank you for allowing us to be here and all the effort that you guys put on in order to put this together. I know that's a lot of work, so thank you. I also would like to thank all the veterans for their service and sacrifice. It truly is an honor to be the executive director of Veterans in Business Network. So what the Veterans in Business Network does is we advocate for all veterans, service disabled veterans, and DVBEs, throughout California as well. So we offer a free, robust directory. You can be a veteran and create this robust directory. We actually have a lot of corporations, government agencies checking our directory daily. So this is definitely something that you want to create right away. In fact, today we had 2 corporations looking at our directory. So I am actually actively looking through that all the time. So you want to make sure that you are you're creating your profile as soon as possible. And then if you're not a veteran, you can still join to have access to our veterans in our database. And you can join as a buyer or an estimator or supplier diversity and have access to those veterans in our directory. The next thing we do is we have a opportunity board. So if you are looking for various opportunities, either that the airport has or the San Diego public schools have, or if you're a prime or corporation government agency who want to share some opportunities with the veteran business community, we welcome you to post your opportunities on our opportunity board. And then that actually goes out to our 40,000 plus veterans, service disabled veterans, and advocates through weekly through our newsletter. The next thing that we have is our events calendar. So we share various events throughout the year. You can get on there. I know that everybody's busy, and the events calendar, I check it all the time because I know there's an event today. So let me check our events calendar. So you want to make sure that you're checking the events calendar, and there's various different events on there like this. And so we're happy to see so many of you on here. And the next thing that we also offer is a veteran to veteran business cohort program. This is a 6-month in-depth peer-to-peer program professionally facilitated by a business development coach who is a DVBE as well. We're starting to accept applications for that in March, so make sure you mark your calendar. This is a really intensive program on how to become a better business leader and manager, and they go through everything from how to talk to your employees, to your financials, to marketing, and you really create a bond within your network. I see Lisa was on here too. She was our latest B2B cohort. So great to see you, Lisa. And then we always have business development webinars. So these webinars are everything from how to organize your business to the next one that we're going to be having next month is going to be December 8th is finish strong start no wait, what is it? It is finish together, start strong. And we know that this year has been very difficult for a lot of small business owners. So, and you might have put your businesses, financials, and all your paperwork off to the side. So this year, more than ever, we want to make sure that you're getting your paperwork in order, that if you received a PPP loan or any type of loan, that you're getting all of that in order now before the end of the year, so that in 2021, that you're ready to start strong, that you've got all of that all in order. So that's going to be on December 8th. We should have a flyer going out, and you can check the event calendar by the end of the week, and you can register for that as soon as possible. We also have a lot of other things happening throughout the year. We had our national conference that we just finished in October. We had nearly 600 people registered. We had 400 business matchmaking sessions going on. Our conferences are considered one of the best veteran business conferences in the U.S. we're very excited and happy about that. Our conference just received Event of the Year for as a Stevie Award. So that's an international award. We were beat out by DHL Germany. So we're happy about that our conferences are getting nationally recognized. And so we welcome everybody to join our network, whether you're a veteran or not a veteran. You can sign up today at vibnetwork.org and let me know if you have any other questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. You have such a robust organization, both you and Joe, and it's so great that both of the organizations have joint efforts to build veteran business communities for members to learn from each other and how they can succeed in business together. So thank you both for sharing about your organizations and networks, and everyone get a moment to look into these two organizations. It could add value to your business and staying connected. Thank you so much. Let's move on to the next slide. We'd like to get to know all the attendees. If I can have Maria launch this next slide. We want to get a better idea of our audience and if you are a specific type of veteran business. There's various certifications out there, whether it be the VSOB, SDVSB, that's a federal certification through the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, through the state of California, Department of General Services. There's the DBBE. So go ahead and make your selection. We'll give it a moment. We have 3 to 5 people so far. Let's try to get at least 50% of the audience to put in your votes. All right, so it looks like we have quite a bit of attendees today. 70% have both the VSOB and SDVSB certification. We have 6% that are not yet certified, but they would qualify if they go ahead and look into applying for that. We have 67% that have the state certification for Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise. 28% have just the DBBE, but the 67 is a combination where there are a disabled veteran, but they are small business as well. And it looks like 11% are none of the above. Wonderful. Thank you so much for participating in that poll. Moving on next to
Christine,
our introduction.
before we move on, it's not so much of a question, but I do have a participant that is asking if any organization is looking to hire a safety trained veteran with BCSP certifications, or if you know of any veterans that are looking to start a profession as a safety professional. So just FYI, if anybody is out there that is looking for this type of individual that has that kind of training. Back to you, Christine.
Thank you, Maria. Thanks for pointing that out in the chat box. We'll move on to our introduction of our panelists. If I can have all our upcoming panelists for this part of our program, turn on your cameras. I will go one by one and announce your company name, and then you will introduce yourself so everyone can get to know you, just who you are and your name. First up, can I have Turner Construction?
Good morning, veterans. The very first comment out of my mouth is thank you all for your service. So appreciated. Second comment is this is a wonderful meeting today from 10 to 11:30. Schedule yourself another meeting right now that you will sign up for these veteran-owned businesses, for these veteran-owned organizations. Right now, you've just scheduled today from 10 to 10:30. How about if you schedule tomorrow, 10 to 11, and sign up for the other organizations? I'm Vera Howell. I am the Community and Citizenship Director for Turner Construction, 23 years, and honored to be here. Thank you, Airport Authority.
Thank you, Vera.
Thank you. I'm Steve Howell with Turner Construction. I work with Vera, and I'm the Community and Citizenship Coordinator.
Thank you so much, Steve. And can I have Clark Construction introduce yourself?
Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Eric with Clark Construction. I apologize that my camera is off. It's a very bad hair day, to be quite honest with you. So we're not going to share the screen. But the important part is the message. I'm excited that all of you are being proactive and being part of these events that Maria Quiroz and her team put together. The main point of obviously these events to get you the right connections, the right contacts, all of the outreach people that work for the competitors outside of Clark is the main goal. If you can't get on a project with us, get you on another project with one of our competitors. And so I've been with Clark 7 years. And so one of my main roles there is helping facilitate and navigate subcontractors to one, get pre-qualified, and then second, getting you connected with the correct project teams. As you know, Clark Construction has a heavy presence in San Diego. We work a lot with repetitive clients such as the GSA, which requires service disabled veterans percentage, and also San Diego State University, which has a 6% DVBE goal. So if you want to make note of that, I will be more than glad to give you information post this meeting on our projects and what opportunities are still left in procurement.
Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you for being here. Can I please now have Powder River Industries introduce yourself?
Thanks, Christine. My name is Yolanda Clark. I'm an Army veteran and a Marine Corps spouse. I'm the founder and CEO of Powder River Industries. We provide contract-based IT services, oftentimes in unique facilities and conditions. I'm also one of the founding city leaders of the Bunker Labs nonprofit in San Diego. I do want to give a shout out to Turner because I thought they might mention this in their intro. Vera and Steve are very humble. Turner offers a construction management program that I went through last fall, and it gave me a competitive advantage by being able to communicate better with the architects and engineers of the unique facilities we operate in. And that's reduced delays and rework on all our contracts. So shout out to Turner, specifically to Vera and Steve. Nice to see you guys.
Great, thank you, Yolanda. Can I now have Blue Nose Construction introduce yourself?
Hey, good morning, everyone again. My name is Joe Rubio. I am a co-founder of Blue Nose IT Solutions, DBA Blue Nose Construction. My business partner is the IT cyber expert, and I am the construction civil engineer type. As we were departing or retiring from the Navy, we saw that there was a niche or a nexus between the high capital infrastructure, important infrastructure that needed both the smarts and parts, and then the brick and mortar. So we decided to kind of approach and brand ourselves in that manner. Fortunately, I was part of the Turner Construction Management Program as well. So I'm an alum, and I truly appreciate what Vera does for us all as Navy vets or veterans. So we started out in 2014. Now we are 10 strong, and we've got projects primarily with DoD and federal agencies, and slowly but surely creeping into the commercial and private side of the house.
Thank you, Joe. And can I now have Diego and Son introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Again, I'm Rebecca. My other hat is that I am Vice President of Diego and Son Printing, a family-owned printing business. Started back in 1972, so we're 48 years old, going on 49. And how could that possibly be? Because I look so young. Anyways, but family-owned in Barrio Logan. And we do everything, large commercial printing, as well as marketing and promotional items. Pretty much anything on paper we say we can do. So your brochures, your booklets. We do a lot of annual reports coming up. I know that's a big thing. And we have been around and are always very tech savvy. We can produce things within just a few days or a few hours. If you're in the San Diego area, we do delivery right to you. And we've actually even have done deliveries for events here at the convention center and delivered it right to your booth at the convention center. So we're all full service, and anytime you need any printing at all, think about Diego and Son Printing. Thank you.
Thanks, Rebecca. Can I now have from San Diego and Imperial Network Small Business Development Center, introduce yourself.
Hi, good morning. My name is Cheryl Brown. I'm a program advisor for the San Diego and Imperial Valley SBDC network. I'd like to thank the San Diego Airport for putting this event on this year, especially in such a unusual time with being remote. I'd also like to say thank you to our veterans for their service and their sacrifice, but also the families of those veterans that are also sacrificing their time with their loved ones. It's truly humbling to be part of this event. And so thank you so much for your service. We provide no cost support to the small business community, including the veteran community, to help them start, grow, and even save their business. And we have over 100 different advisors with various levels of expertise that can help you at no cost.
Thank you, Cheryl. And last but not least, can I have from Naval Facilities Engineering Command, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Zachariah. I'm the Deputy Director of Navy Facilities Engineering Command. I'm former Navy and retired Coast Guard Reserve. I'm a certified AAGG, that's All-American, great guy, All-American great guy. I'm Deputy Director for the Small Business NAVFAC Small Business Program. Thank you for attending. I was looking forward to being here and looking forward to your questions and providing information. Over.
Thank you so much, Zach. And thank you to all panelists for your introductions so that everyone can get to know a little bit about you. Let's move on to the first question for our three panelists on the screen. Do you know of any opportunities that may be available to veteran-owned small businesses and service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses? And the panelists answers in this order: Turner, NAVFAC, and Clark.
Hey, Vera, I'll take this one. Good morning again, everyone. Yes, of course, Turner Construction always has a wide variety of opportunities for all contractors of all sizes and all demographics, of course, including veterans. We're currently working on the beginnings of the airport Terminal 1 replacement project, which is a very huge project. And Turner's very determined to exceed our goal of 3% veteran-owned business. We're very determined to exceed that goal, as we typically do. That's a wide variety of contractors that are needed. And for a long period of time, this is maybe a 6-year project. Turner also has a small business department. We call it the SPD, Special Projects Division, that does jobs that are $15 million and smaller. And they're very active, very intense schedules, and very dedicated to contractors that can perform on short notice, which includes veterans. We're all trained since boot camp to be available on short notice. So we have contacts there that can help out. We have a lot of upcoming SDUSD or school district work coming up in the pipeline. It's in the $3 billion worth of opportunities there. And there's a requirement of 3% of veteran-owned business, DVBE, I'm sorry. And we intend to exceed that. And interested people should get on their pre-qualified list. You have to be pre-qualified with the school district for you to be able to do work with them. So you can find that information at san diego unified.org /departments, and they can give you some help. So
Thank
Okay.
you, Steve. I echo what you said.
yeah.
This is NAVFAC. I can jump in with our information. NAVFAC Southwest posts our opportunities on beta.sam.gov. We can use the keyword of N as in Navy, 62473 to find prime contracting opportunities. Also, there are subcontracting opportunities. Every large contract over $700,000 for services and $1.5 million for construction has small business subcontracting goals and part of the contract. There are a lot of opportunities up in China Lake. We have over $2 billion worth of prime contract work for fiscal year 21. So there's a lot of opportunities up there this year. Also, just yesterday, I reviewed 12 small business subcontracting plans for a multiple award contract for $2.5 billion that's going to be awarded in fiscal year 21. That's going to be like a 5-year contract. So look on NAVFAC Southwest small business page for our prime contractors and make sure that you solicit yourself or market yourself to the prime contractors as a subcontractor, as a service disabled veteran subcontractor. If you are a veteran-owned small business and don't have your service disabled veteran certification yet, get certified as a service disabled veteran, because a service disabled veteran counts towards our goals. And also contact your competition, your SDVO competitors, for subcontracting opportunities, partnering opportunities. It's very important. They're your competitors, but they're also your partners. So make sure that you work with them to meet your minimum minimum goals, small business goals, your basic requirements. You can partner with each other to meet your minimum requirements. So partner with your competitors, your competitive small business service disabled veterans to meet those goals. Over.
And go ahead and answer for Clark Construction, Eric.
This is Eric again. So the opportunities with Clark Construction, there are plentiful actually right now for veterans and service disabled. We have opportunities on Otay Mesa, which is a GSA project. We have opportunities at San Diego State University. And we also have, we've put in, I'd have to say in the last couple of weeks, we have put in about 4 to 5 proposals, one being LAUSD for the Los Angeles Unified School District that has a veteran-oriented goal. So the first step would be, Clark right now is shifting towards building connected. So I'm not quite sure how many of you have created a free profile on there, are used to it, know how to navigate through it, but that is a tool that in particular Clark is using right now to extract your information, search you, and then connect you to the project. We create a profile for every project, and that's where the main communication goes through project managers, engineers, myself as the outreach manager, to make sure that You have the specs, the plans that we know if you're interested or not in bidding the project. And if you are, then you're assigned a trade manager from our Irvine office that can better guide you and direct you with, scoping out the project, getting in a proposal from you. Then once all that information is captured, that's where I come in and make sure that you have all the active certifications needed for the project. If you need them before the life of the project, or as long as you can require it during the life of the project, I will let you know. And then I also require you to send me copies of your certifications directly to my email. That way it aligns with what the information we have captured in Building Connected. So I definitely recommend for all of you who don't have Building Connected, go on there, because we're starting to see a shift in the trend where not just Clark, but other large general contractors are starting to use that as the main portal of information and communication. So please make sure you write down Otay Mesa, San Diego State, and right now LAUSD. We should know within the next month if we're successful on that project. And also we have opportunities for final cleaners and some electrical work still left at LAX receiving station. So that is another job that I help support. So I look forward to hearing from you very soon.
Thank you so much, Eric and panelists, for your responses. And there's so many opportunities out there, as you see. So make sure that you follow up with these panelists and take a look at those upcoming projects. Let's go ahead and move on to the next questions. Do you have any goals in place to support veteran-owned small businesses, or this could be towards SDVSBs or DVBEs as well? And if so, what are they? And with each response, please keep it within about a minute, just because we want to stay within the time frame of our program. We'll have it answered in this order: SBDC, NASFAC, Clark, and then Turner.
Hi, good morning. Cheryl Brown here with the SBDC. So we support all small businesses with no preference one way or the other. However, our host institution from our North San Diego SBDC Center, Miracosta College, does have a program with that's specifically designed to support the veteran community and their spouses and dependents, and it's called VBOC, Veterans Business Outreach Center. So it's SoCal VBOC, and that's specifically designed for the veteran community. As an SBDC network, though, we don't have any specific goals, and we encourage to help all individuals, all small businesses to be successful.
Thank you. And next up, NASFAC.
NAVFAC Southwest, we have a 3% prime contract SDVOSB goal. We don't have a veteran-owned small business goal per se. That's not counted, but SDVOSB. And more important than that is our dollar achievement to service-disabled veterans. In fiscal year 20, we had $115 million plus direct award to service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses. And as again, I mentioned about subcontracting to large businesses, we had $2.3 billion awarded to large businesses, and a portion of that, they have at least 3% of their subcontractors to service-disabled veterans as well. So ensure that you market to large businesses as your subcontractor. Over.
Thank you. And can I now have Clark Construction provide your response?
So thanks, Christine. So this is Eric. I want to keep it short and to the point here. So generally, the service disabled and veteran-oriented goal and our program ensure that we have at Clark is generally try to hit the 6% mark on across all of our projects. Of course, we try to achieve and maximize that beyond the 6%. The reason I say 6% is generally working with in the greater Los Angeles and San Diego market, we kind of look at a threshold and the percentage that's coming across the board. And for us, that's 6%. But we have, a strategic partnership program that caters to all enterprises, to veterans in particular as well, to get you to build capacity and making sure that, we maximize all the opportunities for you all. So, if you're interested in that, make sure you follow up with me on our subcontractor bootcamp class if you want to make note, and that's all I have.
Thanks, Eric. This is Vera Howell from Turner. Steve, if you don't mind, I'll jump in. I do want to say good morning to Eric. Eric and I attended the VIB conference last year, and our tables were together. And I got to tell you, Eric, it's a joy to hear your voice again. It's hard when we have to do all this virtually, but anyway, good morning.
Oh, good morning, likewise.
When I talk about the goals at Turner Construction, I would answer very similar to Cheryl Brown. We have a 20% goal on all our projects of using just basically underutilized subcontractors. And that would be, of course, women-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses. We have a big push out in the community to get to meet those underutilized subcontractors and bring them in. And I would say, of course, with the Terminal 1 replacement project, there is a dollar conversion for the veteran community. If you understand that there's a 3% inclusion veteran goal there, you would understand that of a $2 billion project, that translates to $60 million for veterans. And so that's a pretty outstanding goal. The same with the San Diego School District projects with the 3% goal. That's $60 million again, just for the veterans. Thank you so much.
And I won't add anything that Vera just said because Christine fussed at me for going over a minute.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you all so much, panelists, for answering this question. It looks like there's so many aspirational goals out there. And with all these goals in mind, that means opportunities. So do keep that in mind and follow up with seeing the goals so that these agencies, primes, business support services can meet those goals. Next up, our next question, it looks like this would be towards agencies. So what do you offer that other agencies don't offer? And so this one, I'd like to have Zach answer this one because this one was really more for agencies, but unless any of the panelists have anything else to add that are on this page, I'd like to have Zach answer to this one first. Take it away, Zach.
Yep, I'm off of mute now. So what the federal government offers is set-asides for service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses. So if there are 2 or more capable veteran-owned small businesses, we can set aside a contract to service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses. That's why it's important to contact your competitors to be able to set this aside. To do that, ensure that you answer sources sought notices. When you see a sources sought notices that you're capable of doing, contact your competition. Let them know that a sources sought notice is out there that you could do. If your competitors can do that, let them know, hey, this is out there. Answer the sources sought so that we can have 2 or more capable service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses that can do the work so we can set it aside for you folks. That's real important to be able to do that. Also, NAVFAC Southwest has a program. It's called the Focus Contracts. That's field office competitive award services contracts. They're contracts specifically job order contracts for different types of base facilities maintenance, and they're base specific, say Camp Pendleton or Lemoore, different bases around the country, around our area of responsibility, California, Nevada, Arizona. And they're usually up $30 to $50 million in a 5-year period. So take a look at those, keep an eye out for those. We have another 13 that are going to be awarded within the next year or 2. And there are also solicitations are on beta.sam.gov. So ensure you respond to sources sought. That's where you can be considered for these contracts. We can be able to set those aside for SDVOSBs. Over.
Christine, this is Vera again. I just wanted to make a comment that Turner does run a mentor protege program, and currently in that mentor protege program is a DVBE company. It's a 2-year program, and we've made a lot of strides with that veteran-owned company through our mentor protege program. Thanks.
And Christine, I'd like to add, if I could, for the SBDC network, the resources that are available and what makes us a little bit different is that we are full service from soup to nuts. So anything you could possibly need, access to capital, because there's one thing that you will need if you're going to be pursuing opportunities with the government is access to capital and funding. And so we have over 100 different advisors here in the San Diego and Imperial Valley network. Any area that you might need assistance with in your business, if we don't have the resource in-house, we partner with all the other resources here in San Diego and even outside the county to get you the support you need at no cost to you, free.
This is Zach. I'm sorry, one more time. The Small Business Administration also has an all small mentor protege program, which is a phenomenal program that small businesses need to look into. Over.
Thank you, Zach. And Eric, do you have anything to add with this question from Clark?
Nope, I am good right now. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, panelists. Let's move on to the next question. What are some successful areas for veteran businesses to push to pursue? Let's have Turner, NAVFAC, Clark, and then SBDC respond in that order.
Vera, I can address this a little bit. Turner has a pre-qualification system that is the real door opener to opportunities. And it may seem daunting to smaller businesses, but it's designed around helping small businesses be successful. So don't be nervous and dive in. This pre-qualification system is online, and you go to turnerconstruction.com and click on becoming a partner, and that launches you into a series of screens that gets you through the pre-qualification system. And if you have troubles getting through that, we have resources within Turner to help you walk you through any issues that you may find. There's a lot to do with networking as well. Networking is extremely important. Most of you already know that, I'm sure, but we can't stress it enough. And especially networking within your specific trade. There are networks, local organizations that are good places to network, like the ASA, the AGC, the AIA, and so forth, as well as, of course, the organizations that are represented here with the veterans groups. Those are terrific as well. But contract-related or trade-related networks are also very important.
I would second that motion, Steve. Thank you.
And so one of the areas that I always recommend that our veteran community pursue is the state of California opportunities. The DVBE program, Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise Program, is a very, very robust program. One of the things that I really like about doing business with the state of California is, although they're a large agency, they're very, very easy to do business with. And their procurement process, even for full and open competitive procurements, is a very simple, I use that term loosely, process. And they have a huge DVBE program. In addition to working directly with the agency, there's also a tremendous opportunity as a subcontractor, because many of those contracts coming out from the state are going to have a 3% requirement. So that non-DVBE firm will be required to subcontract at least 3% to a DVBE. In addition, is looking for opportunities that do not require you to go to a full and open competitive bid. As Zach had mentioned with NAVFAC and the federal government, there are opportunities for the veteran community to pursue set-asides and sole source opportunities. So those are the areas that are going to be most advantageous for a small business in general. About 90%, when we combine all the opportunities, 90% of the contracts that are awarded do not require a full and open competitive bid. And so those are going to be the opportunities that are going to be most, the easiest to get to and get through and navigate. So identifying the right opportunities, identifying the right agencies and prime contractors, and being sure that you get your certifications and that your certification profiles are accurate and robust. Over.
Hi, this is Zach from NAVFAC. I was a little dyslexic when I gave numbers for NAVFAC spend in fiscal year 20. It was $3.2 billion was our spend in fiscal year 20. So out of that, remember that there was a 3.5%, 3.5% to service-able veterans. And out of the $3.2 billion, a percentage of that went to subcontracting to SDVOSBs. For areas to look into, Steve and Vera had everything that I was going to say about going to professional organizations, networking, being a part of the community. People need to know you. You can know the Pope, that'd be fine. But unless the Pope knows Steve Turner, and that's what's important. The other thing you would want to do is when you look at beta.sam and you see opportunities for solicitations for NAVFAC, and there's a pre-proposal conference. These are probably, if you see some like large contracts that you know that you can't do, go to the pre-proposal conference, because you're going to go and meet the interested parties at these conferences, at these pre-proposal conferences. Bring a capability statement and bring a good business card. Make sure that you utilize a good business card with your name, a cage code on there, your NAICS codes, and we can check with Cheryl to see if she's got the business card slide that can show you what a card should look like, that'll get you through, and a card that a company will keep, because we get thousands of cards a year, literally. And once you get back to your office, you're looking through and you don't remember what these people do. You don't remember their cage codes or their NAICS codes. It's real important to have a good card. And Cheryl can still share the slide. I can share the slide. So let us know. Over.
Thanks, Robert. This is Eric again with Clark Construction. Some areas to explore that I think that I'm confident that help veteran-owned enterprises be successful in landing contracts and meeting the right people to connect them to projects, are connecting with local agencies, starting in San Diego with the San Diego Unified School District. I know that they have their own internal small business veteran program that are very versed with requirements across the board in the greater San Diego market. They have the contacts with all of the outreach people there. And also they can connect to some of the people in Los Angeles. Obviously being San Diego based, they're going to have a plethora of information that'll be helpful in San Diego. For those of you contractors who do work up in the Los Angeles area, I recommend connecting with LAUSD outreach and compliance team, and also the LACCD, the Los Angeles Community College District. They have a program there called the LSEDV, Local Small Emerging Disabled Veteran Program, and they have a goal across the board, which I believe is at right now 30%. Don't quote me on that. I believe it's 30% of combined participation in all their projects. So as an outreach manager, when we worked for them in the past, when we've built for them, we get a procurement plan, a subcontracting plan, and then that's when I proactively look at the numbers and seeing where veterans can specifically help us not only meet but exceed the goal. So that's working hand in hand with these agencies. But if you have, with these public agencies, if you have the time, reach out to them, get familiarized, go onto their websites and see what their actual procurement goals are internally at the agency. So when you speak to the outreach folks from, you know, Turner, Clark, Sun, whoever it may be, you're versed and you're on the same page from the beginning as to what the client is requiring Clark to do. And so you know your opportunities there. You can sell yourself additionally because you're going to know the requirements. You're going to know the amount of contracted dollars that are available to you. And with that being said, while you do that, having your capability statement is going to be key. I know Cheryl Brown has amazing team, and they help you build that capability statement, change it, modify it, sell yourself to the max. So use her as a resource, get your capability statements ready up and go, reach the contact agencies, contact the outreach people. That's going to help, connect everyone on the same page and really connect you to opportunity and success.
Thank you, Eric, and all panels for answering the question. Moving on to the next panel question. What tools or resources should veteran business utilize? And if you could choose your one favorite one to mention, we will go in this order: Clark, SBDC, Turner, and then NAFAC.
Thanks, Christine. I'm going to just reiterate the one I would have to use, the one business tool I would say is your capability statement. I cannot stress that enough. During in between jobs that I support, I constantly review capability statements and help give feedback on these. They're key to selling yourself at events. Obviously, this year, who knows how long we're going to be doing virtual events, but that shouldn't stop you from getting your capability statement. That is your resume. That is your marketing tool for yourself and your firm. Make sure that it's up to date when handing that over.
So this is Cheryl Brown here. This is an easy one, the SBDC. And we are, we definitely, there's, you have PTech, you have VBOC, you have the Women's Business Center. You've got so many resources out there. Utilize them. Give us a call, send us an email. I mean, email's probably better because, we're all working remotely, but the resource that you need to be tapping into is your SBDC, because we can get you to the other resources and really give you a path to success.
Yeah, I would reiterate that, of course. And boy, I don't know that I can. I can't do within 1 minute. I can't do one thing either. But I think a lot of it has to do with who you know and then what you know and what you bring to the table. We talked a little bit about here on the panel. Your business card. I think that is an underutilized business tool, and it needs to be properly designed. And your elevator speech or your introduction when you're talking to a prime contractor at an outreach event. What do you open with, and what do you not open with? And for me, maybe it's a pet peeve, but do not open with, hi, I'm a veteran. Do you need any veterans? Because I think a better opening is, do you need anybody that can do this? And I have 5 years of experience, or I have 2 successful projects under my belt. I have a proven track record on those. And by the way, I'm a service disabled veteran. I think that's a better order to present yourself with, because frankly, my clients need me to solve problems, and I need you guys to solve problems for me. And along the way, we can support each other as veterans or women-owned businesses or whatever the case may be. And I would also add that you should get safety training. Safety training is pretty critical. for your superintendent should have OSHA 30 training, and every employee should have OSHA 10. Those are critical. And I'm, last but not least, I'm probably the only person on the panel, that's a guess, that has an advanced radio operator's license, and I'm the only one that does not say over. Over.
That's great, Steve. So, NAVFAC Southwest, the first thing that we look at is the dynamic small business search. The first one that's dynamic. Look at your capability statement. You should look at your DSBS profile at least once every quarter to make sure that it looks good. Cheryl Brown will help you with that. The SBDC will help make a good profile for you. We can even set aside SDVUSB. We can have SDVUSB set asides just through your profiles, through our capability statements on there. So again, that's the number one. And I'm going to reiterate what Steve said. When you introduce your company, I always, in my presentations, state what you do, not what you are, when you make your introductions. Over.
Thank you, panelists. And moving on to the next question, what do you think you can do to increase the role and value needed for veteran businesses? And I will have Turner, NAVFAC, Clark, and then SBDC answer in that order.
Steve, I think I'll take this one if you don't mind. I got to, it's a little bit of reiterate those organizations that veterans can belong to. Time and time again, Turner's looking for you. And we have databases that we look through. And I kind of opened with, take the time, schedule a meeting with yourself today and place yourself in those databases. That way tomorrow, when Turner's looking through databases for veterans, your name is there. And there's several databases out there. It's wonderful to meet somebody like Joe Rubio that pops up on a database, and suddenly this whole capability and this person pops out. And why? Because he took the time to place himself in a database. So make sure you're very findable. That will help the GCs tremendously locate you, because we absolutely would love to include you on our projects. And when we do locate you, and I think Eric mentioned certification, have a document so that when we find you in these databases and we, get to know you and we ask you for the copy of your certification, your response is, I thought you'd never ask. I'll email it to you immediately. Now you've got your capabilities, you've got your certification, and that's because you put a little bit of homework into it, and make it easy for the GCs to find you. Thank you so much.
Here you forgot to say over.
Over.
So I'm thinking it's maybe my turn. Cheryl Brown here with the SBDC. One of the advice that I have for all of the veteran businesses out there is to show up, is to be present. I make a joke. Sometimes if you want to dance, all you got to do is show up at the disco. Be engaged. Remember that your certification are the candles on the birthday cake. What is it that you do? What do you really excel at? And follow up and develop that rapport, create an open dialogue. We can help you navigate these systems. We can help you to identify your buyers, the ones that are going to be most open and most receptive to the services that you offer. There are over 2,000 entities here in San Diego County alone Not all of them are going to be good for you. You got to know what your business infrastructure is, what you're capable of, and be careful not to bite off too much more than you can chew. Sometimes the worst thing that can happen to a business is that you bid on a project and win. And so really know what your infrastructure can support and then pursue those. But be persistent on that. You've got to get those certifications, but that's only a very small piece of it. Show up, respond, engage, build rapport. Over.
Thanks, Cheryl. This is Eric again with Clark Construction. I'm going to mirror what my friend Vera said as far as databases. I cannot stress it enough, at least with Clark, the two things you can walk away with today on your to-do list if you have not done so is one, go to clarkextranet.com. You can also email me and I can email you the link, clarkextranet.com. That's the pre-qualification, bare minimum to get you on Clark's radar. That's where you input all your financials, how long you've been in business, and you list point of contacts, the principal. If you want to add, someone who does maybe certified payrolls, or if you just want to be the main contact, that's fine. And then two, going on Building Connected and creating a free profile so we can automatically link you to the projects that we feel you are suited to bid, and then you can let us know if you decide to bid or not once you've taken a look at the job and the scope of work. So clarkextranet.com and Building Connected. Over.
This is Zach. When I first started in the small business program as a young pup, one of my first outreach events I went to, Scott Denniston was the director of small business for the Veterans Administration. And one of the first things he said is, the government doesn't owe you a contract. And to a service to the veteran outreach event. And I was shocked. I said, wow. What he was saying was, you're applying for a job when you're looking for a government contract. So that's it. What government's looking for is your capabilities. I had mentioned earlier about your capability statement in the dynamic small business search. It's very important. Show your capabilities. And I wrote down a note here before Cheryl started talking was, don't take on more work than you can handle. That's one of the worst things that you can do. So that's something else to keep in mind. So number one is when you're looking for a contract, you're applying for a job, show your capabilities. Make sure your capability statement in your dynamic small business search looks good, like it's somebody that you want to hire for yourself. And number two, don't take on more than you can handle. Over.
Thank you all panelists. It's amazing that you all are veteran business advocates and you have all these tips. So thank you for sharing all your insights. Moving on to the next question, we will now be featuring veteran small businesses and disabled veteran businesses to answer questions on their experience that they can share with you on firsthand experience. The first question is, what veteran business certifications do you currently have? And walk us briefly through your experience of the certification process. I'll have Powder River Industries go first, then Blue Nose Construction, and then Diego and Son.
All right, thank you, Christine. All veteran business certifications. We have VOSB, SDVOSB, DBE, and DDBE. My experience with the certification processes, there are components that are common in each. So I created a folder for each one, and I used the checklist provided by the evaluating authority. I collected my evidence and named the file of that evidence to match the item in the checklist. And then I loaded up all those documents into the portal of the certification authority. They all have some web-based portal that you have to submit your information to. It takes a lot of time to get your documentation collected and organized. But the benefit of doing that is that when you're in the portal, you can load your data quickly. Many of the portals are unstable. They crash frequently, or they hang because you're loading big, large files into them. Or if you're not active in that portal for more than a few minutes, it can just shut down on you. So you want to make sure you have all your data collected, organized, properly identified so that you can get it uploaded quickly or as fast as the portal will allow you. And that makes the evaluator's job easier to match exactly what they are looking for to make the decision about you against the requirement that you're supposed to meet to be able to receive the certification. The recertification is easier for two main reasons. One, there's no learning curve at that point. You know what you're doing. You already are certified and you're not stressed out because you're not sure if you're going to get certified or not. And two, you already have all of your data collected. So you just have to update it with the current information and resubmit it. Over.
Yeah, definitely on the certifications, I say definitely you want to get them done, but first off, you want to identify who is your target clientele, whether it be federal agencies, Department of Defense, commercial public agencies. Once you identify who your target client is going to be or who you want to start with, pick one of them and initiate the process. As you will see, more likely the requirements of forms are basically the same across the board, except for some differences. At least for construction, they want a bondability letter, something that shows that you're capable of getting bonding. They want to see that you have a license. They want to see that you are in fact a veteran. So once you start building those folders, like Yolanda said, once you start building the one folder, you can replicate that to the next agency. But I would definitely highly encourage to do a self-analysis of what agency you want to target, depending on your industry expertise, and then, sink or swim. I say swim, just do it.
Yeah, we have we have the DVBE certification with DGS, and we have the CVE certification with VA, and we're also through SAM. And, I couldn't have said it better than Yolanda, who actually explained the whole process. So that was fantastic, Yolanda. So listen to Yolanda. So she has some great information. But also, the thing is, we also have, minority owned and hub zone. So, a lot of these people who are looking for your certification are also looking for other certifications as well. And if you don't know, but this is completely new to you as well, you're looking to connect with the supplier diversity person, usually if you're going for corporate business. And most of those have their own portal as well. So through their portal, they'll ask you, what certifications do you have? And like Joe said, get a target of who you're looking to connect with, find out where they can. If you are looking to do, business with, various utilities and government agencies, a lot of them might have their annual report. That is something you might want to check as well and find out what they're spending on, what the projected forecasting is as well. So, so make sure this is a certificate. This is a veteran platform today. So, you definitely want to get your veteran certification. That is just one step. That, like Zach said earlier, that is not the golden ticket. That will just, give you a key. You have to still, be better, faster, and cheaper than your competition. You still need to do the work in order to win the contracts. So, thank you.
Thank you, panelists, for sharing on your business certifications as veterans. That will segue to the next question. So after having these certifications for your businesses, let us know what type of opportunities that you have received due to possessing these certifications. I'll have Diego and Son go first, then Powder River Industries, and then Blue Nose Construction.
Great. I mean, yeah, through the certifications, we've been able to have opportunities that we may have never had before. We do work with the San Diego International Airport. We've done their their events. We've done their brochures. We have landed a contract with CVS Pharmacy nationwide, MetLife, almost all of the utilities, all because of our certification and because we are out there. We get engaged in the community. We, people need to see you over and over and over again to make sure that not only that you're not just a one-trick pony, that you are, a legitimate business that actually is doing the work. So I think we contribute a lot of 2008 during that recession to our certification. The reason we were able to survive was because of the certification, because of the contracts that we were still winning from corporations and government agencies. And when you first get that contract, it will take a while. Our first contract was with SDG&E, and that took 4 years to get. And it was for $125. I remember that. And because it took forever to get. But once we got that, we now do all of their HR books. We do everything, a lot of the printing for SDG&E. So it takes that one first job, and it might be that smallest little job. But once you get in there, once they see that you can produce and you can do the work, the opportunities start to open. And also, like a lot of these people know who are in the supplier diversity and working the small business advocates, if you are really good and they share that information, they all talk to each other. If you're an exceptional IT or printer or whatever, they will share your contact with each other too. So that's another thing that is great about the networking. So if you're doing great work, they're happy with you, they'll introduce you to other small business advocates as well. So it's helped us tremendously. Thank you. Joe,
I'm up. Sorry, you didn't say over.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So everything Rebecca said, yes. So how has it helped me? Every year a business, at least in my experience, has been uniquely different from the next. So this year, how it's helped is that I've been invited to a lot more matchmaking sessions with buyers, looking for companies that were SDVOSB and whatever combination of certifications, like Rebecca alluded to. If a buyer is looking for one certification, they're likely looking for others as well. They have other goals to meet. And so it's helped me get my foot in the door a lot more. And then you still have to do all the right things. That's the best benefit, frankly, that I've seen so far because of it. And I think Zach said it, you're not entitled to a contract. It is competitive. The contracts that I have today are the ones that I competed for prior to being certified. The first contract I ever won was the Federal Certified Acquisition. And those are for small contracts. And those are really great to get started with because you can't take on more. There isn't more. It's small work, which also means that you're probably going to be able to fund it easier than taking on too much work and not being able to fund the work that you win. That gave me my first past performance, which led to stronger future proposal responses. That led to more wins. That led to more past performance. However, without that past performance, the certification hasn't really helped me with business growth. And if you're a business owner on this participating or listening today, you know that growth is one of your highest priorities. So it's definitely something to keep in mind and a balance. Over, Joe.
Yeah, so I have my veteran certification. Now what? So you definitely want to crawl, walk, run through the process. You don't want to go over your head and try to go with something that you think you may be able to perform, especially if it's the first time that you're going to perform a new service or project for that one client. So my advice is crawl, walk, run, especially if you're starting out. give yourself time and be patient, because you're not going to win something right off the bat unless, you have the inside scoop with somebody, which, federally can't happen. So at least for the construction side of the house, luckily my experience has been that the first portfolio builder for us was the VA with the SDVOSB set asides. And again, we didn't start out with $1 million project. We started off with a 25K small, simple Simon project. Slowly but surely, we started building a rapport with the contracting officers, and then they started reaching out and saying, hey, look, we've got this opportunity. You're invited to compete. But again, they're not going to hand it over to you and say, hey, look, you have a set aside directly, just right off the bat. So you can expect that as you grow your portfolio, then you can advertise that. And luckily, or hopefully, if we can qualify for some other set aside type of certification, such as the 8A or the hub zone, that may open up some additional doors at a later year or later stage to get direct awards. So open up with whatever it is that you think you can do, prove yourself at a minor level, start figuring out what these agencies need, because even though they all follow the FAR, especially the federal side of the house, they work really different. They work really different. So the Federal Acquisition Regulations, which is what is followed by the federal and DoD agencies, each agency, the requirements are very different, and that can bite you in the long run if you're not meeting that clause for that agency. So, over.
Thank you all panelists for sharing your insights on the different opportunities and tips as you've had these certifications. They weren't easy. And talking about not being easy, there are a lot of challenges that you have faced. So let's go on to the next question. In climbing steep mountains as a veteran-owned small businesses, let us know what type of challenges you've had to overcome, and maybe name one of the biggest challenges you've had as a veteran business. And I apologize. Let's start with Powder River Industries, Diego and Son, and Blue Nose Construction. Over.
Thanks, Christine. So for me, I'm a military spouse as well as a veteran, and this last we've been stationed in San Diego twice, thank goodness. We were stationed in DC twice. It's always nice when you can get stationed back in the same place. But this last set of orders was our 33rd military connected move, or at least my 33rd military connected move as an adult. And so that's the greatest challenge. You hear over and over again about how much relationships and rapport matter, and that is incredibly hard to do because it takes time to build those. And when your feet are barely on the ground for a few months before you're already thinking about your next set of orders, it's just hard to be checked in. And you just unpacked into a new home, and you're about to pack out and move into another home, and you're still looking for your favorite coffee cup. And how can you do something hard for your customer? But I think I figured out how to turn that mobility into a feature and a benefit for my business rather than a liability. And that, frankly, is tied to just some personal growth as a leader and reframing the situation for my own resiliency. And so as a result of that, I now have employees in 6 different states. I compete for work across the country, and my buyers view that now as a differentiator because we have the ability to manage this level of complexity over my competition. That's probably the greatest challenge. You mentioned access to capital. That mobility doesn't help. It's a challenge for every small business, but the reframing is I get to meet a lot of people around the country, and I get to talk to people with capital, lots of different solutions. So I'm able to maybe shop for more financing year over year that is better than the last year's financing in last year's conditions. So that's those are just a couple of examples of the major challenges and how they actually become a benefit for our business, for our customers, and also have just built resiliency that we've certainly leaned into this year more than any. Over.
I'd say one of the biggest challenges is probably when you're starting to work with a new government agency or corporations. You're the new person, you're the new supplier. So what happens is a lot of times the people who you're working with, it's not the supplier diversity person. Now you're in it in talking to the buyer and the procurement person. So a lot of times they won't tell you everything that the project has entail. And so you might not know all of the details because they're used to working with, somebody else who has been there for 10, 20 years. So they assume that you know a lot of the things. So I feel as when you're first starting a project, you want to make sure that, and let me just say, this has happened to us several times, where they're assuming that you're just so excited to win a project that you forget to stop for a second and do your checks and balances before the project starts. So we worked with on a project for a company, and they didn't tell us they had a special red. So we printed the project, they approved it, they got the job. The red wasn't their particular red. So we had to reprint. Luckily, we hadn't done the whole amount. So it did save us, but it did make us go, okay, so next time, whenever you're working on these bigger projects, take a step back, do a pre-conference project, where you're talking about the timeline and you're talking about your expectations, and that you and whoever this new buyer is, you're talking to them and you're making sure that you're both on the same page. So I highly recommend just taking a step back and making sure that you're getting all your checks in order before the project comes, because it could cost you a lot of money. And that's what happens with a lot of small businesses. We get so excited about winning our first project that there might be things that we don't know, and it could actually hurt our business, or we can lose business from it, and we can go out of business. So you want to make sure you're doing all your due diligence at the beginning when you win those projects. So thank you. Over.
All right, thanks, Rebecca. Yeah, so at least I'll speak from my business perspective. Starting out about 6 years ago, it was that bootstrapping side of the house that was extremely hard. Just retired from the military, had a quality of life at a certain perspective, and then, made the jump to be an entrepreneur. So, if you have a similar situation, or if you are starting out, be patient with yourself, as I mentioned earlier. Be willing to stick to it. Don't think that, hey, I'm putting up my shingle and I'm going to start making money. It's going to happen. And that's the beauty of business, because you're constantly evolving, you're constantly growing, and you face new challenges year after year. But if you stick to it, you can take your lessons learned from the previous quarter, the previous year, and then elevate them up. So the first few years were definitely the biggest challenge was definitely the bootstrapping piece, gaining that portfolio, getting the name out there. So branding yourselves, that going through those different layers of business operations and sustainment is something that you probably have to learn on the fly. Then the next phase would be, which is a good problem to have, is, hey, now I've got the certifications, I built my portfolio, I built some sort of brand, and now I'm getting offered this, larger projects with some sense of difficulty, technical or non-technical difficulty. So the good problem to have is, hey, how do I outfit and execute that project? What resources, what personnel do I need to bring in? What kind of equipment do I need to bring in to dedicate to that client, to that to that project? And then how can I find the financial strength to outfit it and resource it? So those are problems that will definitely come up. But the thing that you want to do during that phase is don't forget to continue that branding, and don't forget to continue the business development. So you will definitely want to invest some time in a BD person, or you being most of the hands off and doing a lot of the BD for yourself. You want to do that. Why? Because then you want to sustain that growth, and you want to keep bringing in that bottom line, that capital that will keep your business going. And eventually, hopefully, you can graduate from a small business to a medium or even large business. Over.
Thank you, panelists. Let's move on to 2 slides from here. What final nuggets of wisdom would you like to share with veteran businesses? And I'll have Joe go first, and then Yolanda, and then Rebecca.
Yeah, I would say, the major nugget I can give you is build your network. Be an extrovert, sell yourself, sell your business. Always build that network, because the more people that you talk to, the more open doors you will find. And, or even, you will find information that you don't want to go in that course of action. So I would say build that network.
Okay, how much time do we have? I have so many nuggets. The thing that was really pivotal for me was to get us, and I have an MBA and I have done large cost account management for large contracts under a large business before in the past. But when it came to startup and entrepreneurship, there was a lot of stuff I didn't know about finance and accounting. So get as smart as you can, as fast as you can about entrepreneurial accounting and finance. It is probably not what you studied in school. And if you didn't study it in school, you may not even know what you don't know right now. So you need to know where you are financially before making every decision, before making investments in anything. And especially since most of us bootstrap. I think less than 1% of startups get venture capital or angel investing. So that means most of us are bootstrapping. You absolutely cannot succeed winging it on this topic. It's okay to get help crunching the numbers, but you have to understand what it all means and make decisions based on what you are looking at for your vision in your market space. You also need to know enough about it to know if your bookkeeper is doing things right. Every turnover I've had in this outsourced role of accounting is because I learned more and I realized that I needed to upgrade my services in that space. And that is directly attributable to the success and the strength of my company today. Over.
I would say you want to make sure this panel is great. I know Joe and Yolanda, I'm happy to see them both here, and get engaged in the veteran business community, whether it's with Bunker Labs or USBVA. Joe has a great organization here in San Diego. They have actual meetings when COVID is not here. And so they're a great advocate here in San Diego. If you're looking to get connected with people in San Diego, these are great organizations. But really get engaged, get involved in the veteran business community space, and with that, you'll learn a lot from your fellow veterans who've been around for a long time. You can ask questions. You almost have your own, board with you who you can assess and ask, hey, I'm going through this right now. What do you recommend? Do you know anybody who's been doing this? Once you get engaged and you open Pandora's box, it's amazing how close this community is and how everybody is so supportive of each other. So I can't stress that enough, as to really get engaged, volunteer, help, do whatever you can to be part of these organizations. not only for yourself as a business owner, but for yourself as a veteran business owner to be part of this and help your fellow veteran businesses out. Over.
Can I put a quick plug here real quick? I just want to pick on something that Rebecca pointed to. Volunteering as a veteran business owner is key, especially in your local community. So meaning that you'll volunteer to help other vets. That said, I'm going to put this plug in here. I am looking for volunteers to be part of our board or be part of committees that we have. So if you have that time to, or have the inclination to be provide some leadership and network with other veterans, please reach out to me via email. I think you have my email in the slides, so please reach out.
Thank you all panelists for sharing your final nuggets of wisdom for everyone here. Let's move on to the next slide. And can I have Maria come on and let me know of your status on the questions and answers and how we can address these?
So we've had several questions that have been answered throughout the panel discussion. So thank you everybody for interacting. Due to our time, we are going to go ahead and skip like one or two questions that we had, and we'll address them on a separate email, or we will also be sharing the contact information for everybody that participated today. So reach out to them, and if you are unable to contact them, always reach out to Christine and myself.
Thank you, Maria. Let's move on to the next slide to get your last input after hearing from all our panelists. Go ahead and we'll launch that poll. Go ahead and click on one of the following, just so we can see your insights and interests after hearing from all our panels today, whether it be your interest with prime contractors, public agencies, the Small Business Development Center, or you thought everything was helpful. Give it a couple more seconds. We have almost 50% voted. Okay, it looks like everyone, for the most part, thought everything was very helpful, informational for every component and different panel members. So great to hear that. And with that being said, with the high interest, we wanted to leave on this PowerPoint a contact slide for all the different panelists and also our small business development team. We can send this out, the PDF of the PowerPoint presentation that includes the different slides for you to look at, as well as this contact page. And I'd like to bring to the spotlight all the presenters, speakers that are still here with us today, so we can close out on this session. We really, really appreciate every single one of you today who have taken the time out of the busy schedule to be here to share all the information, knowledge, nuggets of wisdom, all these opportunities here for our veteran businesses. So go ahead, Maria, you can also close out as well.
Yes, thank you, Christine, for a great job done. And let me go ahead and the San Diego Airport Authority Small Business Development Team would like to thank all attendees for being here at our first Veteran Appreciation Panel. And we apologize for the time that we have gone past our schedule, but I'm sure everybody has benefit from all this information. So our team would like to sincerely thank all speakers, panelists, support team members, and attendees for taking the time out of your busy schedule in sharing valuable information for our veteran business today. Attendees, please complete our event survey that we will be providing you with. and we will add the survey link to the chat box and also email it out to you. Take care, everyone, and see you at one of our future airport events. I will stop recording now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. And we'll see you at our next airport event.
That was great. Thank you.
Bye.